Dude, I cannot believe this. This is the divisional round of the 2024-25 NFL season.
Best show ever.
Ever, baby. Ever.
Come on, Mike. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
There is something in your eyes, man.
Man, it is go time. We have been waiting. We have been waiting all since our first show. The first show this year of the best show ever.
Wow.
The first show, we said this is the season.
Yes.
That the Lions are going to this date, February 9th, my birthday, to play the first ever Super Bowl to be held on my birthday.
You know what? Here's why I'm flustered. Usually we come in, really jumping up and down. You came in, you had that focused look. You are focused is what you are.
This is it. This is it right now.
When I was looking at him, I'm just seeing this focus in your eyes.
You think it's the Dan Campbell focus. I'm telling you.
It is a Dan Campbell focus.
It is time. Saturday night, it's time. We are two games away from the big game.
This is it. Let's go. We have been going 18 weeks regular season, wild card week, so 19 weeks total. We've been with you. That's right.
That's right.
You've got the focus, Carl.
Let's go.
You've got the fired up, Doug.
Let's go.
That's right. You've got the divisional round. We've been waiting for this.
You look like Jack Sawyer, right? You just come out of your skin.
Start batting down everything that's around here. Okay. So, speaking of that, okay, we'll talk about football. So, watching the college game the other day with Ohio State and Texas. It's funny because we are rooting like Ohio State was losing by 21 points. That's what. But you look around the room, and I'm seeing all these people. Okay, there were some folks with their shirt pulled over their face, and other people are, they're just their mouths are covered, and and other people are biting their fingernails and stuff like this. When you're watching a game, is there any habits that you have or anything that you've seen? Like me, I need to stand. I cannot sit. I'm just too anxious.
Was this the whole game or just that possession when they had first and goal from the one?
Just throughout the game.
Okay.
Different. Let's say in stressful situations. When you need a drive, you need a first down, you need the touchdown. Is there any go-tos that you have?
I stay pretty calm throughout the course of a game. Because of how quickly things can turn, the ebbs and flows. So I may get a yeah, all right, but I don't get overhyped. I don't get over emotional. I say that, and I will yell at Mars. When Kerry Carpenter hit that home run in the playoffs, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And I think so. The moment with Jack Sawyer, same thing. There's this build-up, and then when that big moment happens, there's this explosion of emotion, right?
Yeah.
And because I don't let it out all game and kind of ride with it, and I will get excited or I will get upset, but I stay pretty mellow, and that's football.
Yeah.
Because football, the ebbs and flows, will happen. So I'm a huge Gator fan, as you know, and a basketball game. I cannot sit down. I am a wreck during a basketball game. It's almost unhealthy.
Yeah.
I'm on my feet. I can't sit down. And the basketball games are, hour and a half, 2 hours, and they're done. But as far as my antics during the game, I try to stay pretty mellow during a football game because, man, things change so quick. Even when you're up 14-0 and everybody's celebrating, I'm like, man, they are a score and a stop from being right. There's always I don't know. I don't know.
I think everybody's looking at me as coach because our buddy Scott and our buddy Anthony they were on the board guest pickers. They were both at the party too.
Yeah.
So it was an absolute blast. But at one point, I was thinking, well, the last time Ohio State scored, this person was over there and this person was over there, so I'm directing traffic. You got to get back over there and you got to get back there. It's I have that 8 or a 10 of.
Sure.
It's no, you got to direct traffic where everybody's at. Oh, man. All right, so you tell us, do you have any quirks or anything like that when you're watching a game? like I said, I have to stand. I have to be standing and just.
I'm a wreck during a basketball game. Man.
So it sounds like the same sort of thing. Yeah. Let us know if you have any quirks. It's funny when you hear about stuff like that. When people have those kind of quirks and when they're doing things. All right, enough of that. Go. Enough of that. Okay, enough of that banter back and forth.
That's fun.
But let's talk a little bit more about the championship game, okay? Because it is coming up. We're down to the last game. It always bums me out of the season.
Yeah, I think you guys are in big trouble. I do. I'm telling you right now. I think you're in big trouble.
Seriously, you say that seriously. You think Notre Dame has a chance to get to Ohio State?
You're gonna give me PTSD flashbacks. You don't know. Do you know the root of my frustration with Ohio State? Because again, I've got people in my life that I love dearly that are big Buckeye fans, and I will be happy for them if Ohio State pulls it out. However, the root is
Brad. This is you, Brad.
It is Brad. It is Brad. But the root is when Florida played them in the national championship. You had to wait a month before the game was played.
Hated that. Absolutely hated that. Yeah.
And it was and I lived in Cincinnati. It was every day the obnoxious laugh of do they have a chance of the Ohio State fan base thinking that your nose above everybody else and they're not even worthy of being on the field with us and we're gonna and then we kicked the absolute snot out of you.
It was lucky.
And then exactly. Right.
It was lucky.
And we dominated. Now we did that with Urban Meyer too. We did that with Urban Meyer. That was our coach.
It was a lucky game that you had.
We were so much better than you guys. It was sick. And then we did it in basketball
for one game.
Then we did it. Then we turned around 3 months later and we did it in the basketball championship. It was the greatest sports year of my life. But point being, as I digress, that laugh, that comment, do you actually think they have a chance is just so...
I know.
It's like, come on, like Notre Dame isn't 14-1 and earned it on the field. Like you guys didn't drop a stink bomb against Michigan in your own stadium.
To me, the way
did you watch the Michigan game? How crap you guys looked.
Yeah,
you guys were
dog
one
crap. Game. It was one game. That's right.
Notre Dame's one game against Northern Illinois. See, and then you just
discount it. Just discount it.
I'll discount it. But listen, I will say this: the Lions.
Yeah,
people are saying that thing about the Lions.
Can't do that.
Overlooking.
Can't do that.
Hear me out. Because I heard a comment on the radio. The Lions dismissing Washington. The fans. People are calling in the radio show going, you guys are too cocky. You're too confident. This and that.
You're right.
And then one guy called and said, you know what? I'm not on the team.
Yeah.
Okay? I can be overconfident.
Absolutely.
All right? Do you know who's not going to be overconfident? Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
The players. Do you know who's not going to overlook the Redskins? Dan Campbell. Do you know who's going to be ready for the Redskins? Dan Campbell and that team. They're going to be prepared. They are going to be ready. And it doesn't matter what I think or how cocky I am. They will be ready.
And to your point, that I just wanted to continue.
So same as Ohio State. They'll be ready.
No. I mean, it's the fact that last year, this time, Michigan was the favorite team to win the game. And they took care of business. They went in and they won the game. Ohio State has to do the same thing. Just because they're favored doesn't mean they're going to win. They have to go in. They have to.
Do they have the coach to do it? They don't have Dan Campbell as their head coach. Is my point. They have Ryan Day. They have Ryan Day. Lions have Dan Campbell. I trust in Dan Campbell.
But the same premise is there. They have to go out and they have to win the game. Okay, it's fun for me to say, Notre Dame doesn't stand a chance. No, right now it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. It's a tie game.
Notre Dame absolutely has a chance.
Yeah.
But I've got, again, people in my life that I care very much about that if Ohio State wins, I'll be very happy for them.
All right, I'm trying not to be overly cocky.
You go ahead and be.
I'm trying not to be overly cocky.
You go ahead and be, because we got a show to do after it. So you go right ahead and be, because I will find a Notre Dame jersey. I will find one.
Let's not go there.
We had to talk about the Buckeyes.
Let's not go there.
We had to talk about the Buckeyes.
All right, I'm sorry for everybody. We lost half the viewers because we're talking about the Buckeyes.
We related it to the NFL. We brought it back. We brought it back and we said, you know what? We said it doesn't matter if the fans are confident. It doesn't matter if the fans are cocky. It doesn't matter because, you know what? We're not playing.
That's right.
We're not on the team.
We can be.
They will be. I trust that Dan Campbell is not hearing the noise. I trust that Dan Campbell has been preparing for this moment. And Ford Field is just going to be electric.
I think if the Lions, in fact, it doesn't matter where they finish. I think they should elevate Ben Johnson to head coach and Dan Campbell goes to the Raiders.
Yes, they should do that. They
All
should
right,
do that.
let's talk about last week. Okay, you and Pheng went 3-3.
Yeah.
I had 4-2. I mean, these are.
I gotta tell you, it cannot go unstated. I need everybody to listen to me right now. Listen, stop what you're doing.
I'm
Sit
listening.
your
I'm
coffee
going to
down.
stop talking for a second. I don't know what you're on.
This is the Kool-Aid.
All right.
He's picked 19 games.
Yeah.
One a week. The Kool-Aid pick is our lock. Fire
ATS.
Brimm Sports.
ATS.
Fire Brimm Sports. Lock against the spread pick of the week. Went 14-5.
That's not bad.
And this is not. I want you, please find me any handicapper, anybody that's out there, anybody on TikTok, anybody on Instagram, anybody out there with a feed, anybody out there that's charging you for their picks, anybody that went 14-5 on their lock pick. Share their name because they don't exist. You're the only one, Doug.
Yeah.
There you go. You would have won a Vegas contest with that pick. That is amazing. 14-5. 14-5, sir. I tip my hat. Respect to that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely fantastic.
But we got 3 more. You know, I'd like to make it. That's right.
Buckeyes are probably still going to.
No, I didn't pick them as the.
I hope Brad stopped watching because I didn't want him to hear me say that.
Boy, he's going to give you flack. He is going to give you some serious
He heard the first couple minutes and then
he said, "I'm done with that." All right, 3-team parlay. You came close, except for the Packers.
You know, and that's what stung about that one. A lot of times I lose one. I'm like, I shouldn't have lost that one. I don't know. I felt really good about Green Bay. I really liked that game. If we would have gone back, I would have thought of any of the games. But again, just like and Philly was the Kool-Aid pick, which hit, by the way, to the tune of 14-5 for the season. I continue to underestimate Philadelphia, and it scares me a little bit with them. If they come to Ford Field, I'm just glad we're not going there.
I would be scared about that. If we were going there,
I am
nervous about that too. I am definitely nervous about that. Mr. Assassin, Ricardo Rocks, rocking it.
Yeah.
Absolutely rocking the boat.
Great job, guys.
Getting the 3-team parlay. That's absolutely awesome. Oh, and then as for the picks, I didn't put together all the picks, but I can tell you that there were a couple people that went 4-2. There was no 5-1s or no 6-0s.
Yeah, nobody swept the board.
No, there was nobody sweeping the board. So okay.
Which really, like, the favorites are winning. It's been for for a while now. The college football playoff, the NFL playoff, and I'm not one to pick. The favorites have been coming in. They've been coming in, and it's been kind of surprising for me.
Okay, so let's do this real quick. Our top 5s, and then let's look at our top 5s, and then we're going to look at what Vegas is thinking right now. Okay, what I would call the top 5. So I'm still with the Chiefs. Got the Lions. See, you're there, but there's a big difference between the.
I think Baltimore. So I took it as I think Baltimore's running the AFC.
Yeah.
I don't think Philly can go in. I don't think Philly goes into Detroit and win. So I think that's our Super Bowl matchup. And I got Kansas City on the outside looking in just because if they get by Texans even. They'll get by the Texans, I think.
Okay.
But,
So keep that right there.
That doesn't matter.
So here's what we're going to do. We got that. Now here's what Vegas is thinking. This was as of yesterday. Today is Thursday. So they've got the Lions. I'm saying, okay, this is the number. So they've got the Lions as the favorite to win the Super Bowl, right? The Chiefs. They've got the Eagles, Ravens.
Okay, you know what this just means, though.
What?
You say it's Vegas. This just means that the most money is on the Lions to win.
Okay.
That's
then everybody else is doing that. Everybody else is doing that.
That's the only thing that means is that the majority of the money is on the Lions. And that's why the odds are there, and the least amount of money is on the Texans.
And the Texans.
Okay, and that's why it pays out more.
Yep.
Because however this plays out, Vegas is coming out ahead.
Actually, they're coming out ahead. So,
they're coming out ahead. They don't care who you bet on, but they're coming out ahead.
So it looks like we're still in the same group in the sense that, okay, the Lions, actually, neither of us have the Lions. Got the Chiefs there. The Eagles and the Ravens. Yeah. I mean, everybody is looking at that. And then you got the Bills.
Plus 475, that's your value bet right there, Baltimore to win the Super Bowl.
Why do you think that? Why is that the value bet?
Because I think they have the best chance to win it. That's not the favorite.
Yeah.
I think plus 475, that's
so if you were going to lay some money on this, you would be looking at the Ravens?
I would put Notre Dame, Detroit, parlay together.
Okay. You think you're going to go to Detroit? You put money on. You'd put coin on Detroit.
I think that
If you're not being a fan,
listen,
I mean, you're betting with
I
money.
can't not. When it comes down, if Detroit's in this game on February 9th, you don't even have to tune into the show. I'm gonna tell you who I'm taking. I don't care what the spread is. I'm taking the Lions.
I love it. You've earned the right to do that. You have earned the right to do that.
This game, this is the first ever Super Bowl held on my birthday, and the Lions have a golden path to play. God, I can't get over
There's never been a
I'm
Super Bowl
my
on
whole
February
life.
9th.
There's never been a Super
Oh,
Bowl on
really? No
February 9th.
kidding.
No, this is the
kidding.
latest that it's ever been.
Oh my gosh.
In February, because it was always in end of January when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
End of January, and then the latest it got to was February 2nd,
Yeah.
and it just recently got pushed to this extra week, and this is the first time it ever fell. Because think, 7 days into February 7th,
Yeah.
the 9th, it never fell on the 9th before. It's the first time ever. The
So
latest it's ever been.
So let's do something really quick.
I don't know. I can't say. I don't know if it's been a 10 before, but this is the first time it's been
Yeah.
on the 9th. Yeah.
Okay, let's do something really quick. We're going to compare the teams based on their offensive rank, defensive rank, and the takeaways.
Okay.
Interesting thing about the takeaways, when I was looking at this, there were 15 teams this season that had positive numbers on the takeaway. More takeaways than, turnovers, right? Of those 15 teams, 13 of them were of the 14 playoff teams.
Wow.
This season. I mean, doesn't it show you that takeaways? Now, the two that got me were the Bengals had a positive takeaway, didn't make it. The Bears had a positive takeaway. The only negative one was the Buccaneers.
I'm
They had a
surprised at the
negative.
Bears that I would have thought they would have turned it over.
I would have thought that too. I was shocked by it when I saw that. So that really makes the Bengals season even worse. You got Joe Burrow.
This isn't bang on the Bengals and Zach Taylor. Their
Fire
offense
Zach
was
Taylor.
fantastic. They struggled defensively, but they didn't turn the ball over apparently. So what that tells me, I don't buy a whole lot into
The rankings.
offensive and defensive
Yeah.
rankings.
Yeah.
There's so many variables in that. There's so many variables. Teams up, teams controlling the ball.
Yep.
Like Kansas City has the ball the whole game.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
of course, their defense.
So they're 17th ranked offense.
Yeah.
Ooh, no,
You're
we
22
know
out of
that,
how many? Yeah.
That's
like,
right. We
yeah, you're
know
almost-
that they're really
yeah.
good, right?
So I do with your stat on the turnovers with that many teams. I hold like the turnover, but then you're taking that down to an individual game.
Yes.
And it is, and the only thing I don't know how much this tells us besides the fact that whoever wins the turnover battle in the game as the battle.
As a chance, as a chance there. And then the same when you go to these games too. You've got these positive turnovers. You look at the Eagles. I mean, I can say all I want about Jalen Hurts, but they are doing things right. I mean, look at that. Number 8 offense, number 1 defense.
I mean, that's
right.
pretty good.
That is pretty doggone
And you just continue to hate on them all the time. I don't understand. I don't understand why I just cannot get over the hump of getting behind Philadelphia.
Okay, let's do this real quick. We're going to do our weather report. This is for this weekend. We got 4 games. Okay, obviously the Lions game, don't worry about that. It's going to be nice and toasty in the Ford Field. So on Saturday at Kansas City, you got sunshine, high about 25, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. That's not bad.
Pretty windy.
That's windy, but it's
pretty
been
windy for
worse.
throwing a
Remember last
football.
year against the Dolphins? That was really bad.
That's windy for throwing a football.
But I tell you what, they're getting everybody back. I mean, they're getting the gang. I'm talking about Kansas City. So, okay, Philadelphia, it should be, they might get some snow, maybe up to an inch.
You're still talking 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. That
Is a lot. That's a lot of winds. Okay, then Buffalo.
Fortunately, Saquon Barkley doesn't have to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's right. That's why he just keep warms up, right? We were talking about running in the cold, right? I know that it's going to stop Saquon and
Hey, I'm not trying to get hit by a Mack truck while I'm
yeah,
running in the
that's
cold
true.
either.
That is true. Yeah, they said cold and get hit by Henry or Saquon, that would be pretty bad. Okay, Buffalo on Sunday night. It's going to be in the teens. Have some flurries. It's 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, but when it gets into like 15 degrees or
Listen,
the teens,
this is going to go
That's gonna
back.
be
You
a
need to
game.
take into mind a couple things. They consider SoFi a dome. Anyway, it's a controlled environment.
SoFi is a controlled environment. Yeah.
So we've got 2 teams with controlled environments going into outdoor stadiums in the cold. We've got the Texans.
Yep.
And we've got
And
the
we
Rams.
got the Rams. Yeah.
And they're going outdoor in the cold.
I think it makes
I
a
don't need to
difference.
tell you. Look it up historically on the
Yeah.
stats on that, okay? Controlled environment teams heading out into the elements in the playoffs.
Yep.
Look it up.
Enough said. Okay. One more
we
thing
got-
here.
Rag on some teams. Zach Taylor's on there. Whatever.
Well, yeah,
Fire some
okay.
people.
Mike McCarthy.
Gone.
Mike, I'm going to miss you. Actually, I hope he gets another job so I can put him right back on
the board. So these are the people you predicted to get fired at the beginning of the season, right? This is the original, and we've almost fired every single one that you predicted. That's pretty impressive. If you get on Doug's board, pack your bags.
Then I added Peterson pretty quickly. I added Zach Taylor later in the season.
Hang on.
The only one that got me was right here. I did not see, Vail going down like that.
It made sense. I didn't see it until they
hired Vrabel. Okay, that's a done deal. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
That's who they wanted.
I don't blame them at all.
He got his guy.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
Jared Mayo didn't have a chance.
All right, we are going to do brown bags.
Let's go. We got to.
Okay, brown bag, Chargers. I mean,
crap. Yeah. Listen, you laid an egg.
They laid an egg.
You laid an egg. Harbaugh, when you expected Harbaugh to have his team better than that.
Absolutely.
Terrible. Green Bay. Listen, you went into, you are not a controlled environment team, so you should have been okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just expected them to put up a better, they play horrible. Like, Philly just smoked them. I did not see that coming.
Okay, so, here we go. You ready?
Come on, man.
Okay, we got Finger on the board. Genghis Kahn himself. All right.
The champion, the regular season champion.
Let's go in order that they're played.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to go Saturday afternoon. Got the Texans going to Arrowhead. Rested Chiefs. Everybody is rested. They got what? Jalen Watson back. They've got defense. I mean, everybody looks at Watson. Chiefs by 8. Finger says, go with the Chiefs.
I don't care about any about that. I'm going right. I don't care what that number says. Controlled environment plus CJ Stroud is terrible. Controlled environment, going outdoors into those conditions. Kansas City knows how to win at home. It's not going to be pretty because they don't win pretty, but they cover that.
On top of that, what are we missing? Okay, Andy Reid coming off a bye. It's a ridiculous record. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Patrick Mahomes,
not putting my money on the Texans.
Patrick Mahomes, 6 divisional games in a row. He's 6-0.
10-point win.
He's just absolutely on fire. The dude, they've beat the Texans like a couple games in a row now.
Again, so this is just the number that Vegas needs to get equal money on both sides. They feel that. That's all that number is. But I think Kansas City will take it.
Yeah, I think Kansas City will take it. I'm with you on that. Okay, let's go to...
And the favorites have been covering. I hate taking all the favorites, but they've been getting it done. So.
All right.
Algorithms tweaked. Saturday
night. This is it. You want to announce it? Announce it.
Yeah, the Washington Redskins. Jane Daniels, potential rookie of the year, with his superstar electric performance at Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
Can he continue his historic run? But he's not, because the Detroit Lions, they have lifted the curse of Bobby Lane. These are not the same old Lions. We are no longer, forget the sorrow, forget the pain. Lions win big. Lions are focused, sink 38-6 like they did to Dallas back in 91.
Okay.
I bring up that game because it's like one of our 4 playoff wins.
That's right.
But yeah, big win for the Lions. Ford Field's going to be electric.
Montgomery. Looks like Montgomery's going to be playing. He's practiced all week long. That's a good one.
Same game plan you've had all year.
That's
electric.
9.5 though. I mean, you always frown.
Take Jaden. Go ahead.
Go
ahead and take it. That's the only reason you're dragging your feet. Go on.
You always frown throughout the season. You're bigger than the big dogs.
I just said that.
With the big favorites. Look at that.
I just said that.
I know that.
But they've been covering. You got to tweak the algorithm. For 4 years,
really gonna do that?
4 years, you picked favorites and lost, and this was your year. You want to take Jane Daniels for the night? You go right ahead.
You know what? Just because you're tempting me, you're just doing that.
That's
I'm taking that 9.5.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. The Lions win, but they will win like 7.
Because I know another team that's getting 9.5 that's going to win, and that's because they have touchdown Jesus. Because you're not going to beat Jesus.
Oh, dude, get out of here! Don't even do that. Don't even.
I will find it
Brad,
in Jersey.
How do we put up with this?
Brad's not. We lost Brad 5 minutes into the show. He's not watching that.
All right, let's go to Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia. It's the Rams. I mean, Matt Stafford, you know what he is? I mean, he's a great quarterback, but he is outside, right? Yeah. Taking on Jalen Hurts, who is not a great quarterback, but he does have Saquon Barkley. These guys played in week 12, and the Eagles ran over the Rams.
That has no bearing on my pick.
Absolutely ran over them.
It has no bearing on my pick. What does have a bearing on my pick is they wear you down. They're built for the weather. They're built for Lincoln Memorial. They're built for their home field.
Yep.
And this is, again, controlled environment, going outdoors on the travel. Magic runs out, Philly covers. So, yeah, I got 3 big favorites.
I was going to
It's been
say,
happening.
you're picking the favorites. Pheng is going with them, and I am going to go with the Eagles as well. I just...
Listen, I always say
Now,
don't
would
pick a
you-
favorite. Just so that we're clear, I don't say don't pick a favorite just to not pick a
Yeah.
favorite. I pick dogs when the dogs are going to cover, which is majority of the time. In this particular case, these are the best teams in the league, and it's going to show.
Tell me this. I think that this is the best set of 8 teams.
The Texans are terrible. They shouldn't be in.
Okay, except for...
Stroud
Okay,
isn't even an NFL quarterback.
but beyond that, I think these are the best 8 teams in the NFL.
7.
7?
Yeah,
Because
Texans are
you're
not
taking out the
top.
Texans?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Washington? You think they're a fluke?
I don't. Daniels makes them electric. I mean, that was a hell of a game, a hell of a performance he played against. It was gritty, it was gutty. It was, they did everything they needed to do to win that game against Tampa. I hope they have a Tampa hangover.
Okay.
'Cause
We'll find out.
yeah,
Okay.
I think Jane Daniels is. That's dynamic right there.
Okay, let's go to Buffalo. Sunday evening, let's go to Buffalo. You got the Ravens taking on the Bills. I mean, what do you want to say about Derrick Henry? I mean, just what's the game plan? Just get the ball to Derrick Henry? That's all it is.
Lamar Jackson is electric. I don't know if you
not
looked
bad.
at his touchdown
He's not
interception
bad
numbers
either.
this year.
Okay.
Take a peek.
Take on the Bills. I forget the quarterback's name for the Bills. I mean, he's
Superman. You just call him
not
Superman.
bad anyways. Okay,
Yeah.
James Cook has got to be a factor in the game. Amari Cooper has got to be a factor in the game, right? Zay Flowers has not practiced
This is
for
gonna be a hell of a game.
the Ravens.
This is
he
a
has
toss.
not practiced at all.
It's a toss-up
It's
game.
one. It's one. Okay. Ping says the Ravens. What say you?
Yeah, we're going Baltimore.
You're going Baltimore?
We're going Baltimore, and we're going Baltimore because I think Baltimore gets to the Super Bowl and plays the Lions.
Okay. I'm going to go the Ravens, and then I'm going to make them also. That's right. I'm making them the Kool-Aid pick.
No, I really like it. I like it even more now because the Kool-Aid pick doesn't lose. 14-5
Every
on the
time you
season.
like the Kool-Aid pick, though, it scares me.
It's a toss-up game. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't take a big favorite. So listen, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. Ravens and the Kool-Aid pick. That's right.
Drink the Kool-Aid. 14-5 on the season.
15-5.
Listen,
That's
I
what we
can
want to
tweet-
go
how
with
can I
it.
tweet
That's right.
15 out of 20 winners. Woo!
Okay.
Man,
So,
that's fire. That is
there
fire.
are 4 games left, which means that we can still do a 3-team.
I'll go ahead and put the 3-teamer
Do
in there
it.
for you. The Lions are going to cover.
Lions.
The Chiefs are going to win big.
Chiefs.
The Ravens are going to win that game.
Ravens. I love it. I
That
absolutely
Stafford
love it.
makes me nervous, but I still like Philly.
I
I think this is a good 4-teamer. Lock it up.
I cannot wait for all the games.
Oh,
this
man.
is going to be.
This is gonna
I'm
be
seriously.
great. This is gonna be
These
great.
are 4
Yeah.
awesome games. I cannot wait for any of them. Absolutely.
This is the biggest game of my life right now. Until next week. I need there to be a next week. This is going to be a tough show. I mean, I'll have my Notre Dame jersey on next week, but this is going to be a tough show next week
If you had
this
tickets,
doesn't happen.
If you had tickets, what would it take you to sell those tickets? How much coin would it take for you to sell
I
those
would
tickets?
rather be in the comfort of my... Listen, it'd be a party. It doesn't matter if you're at a bar or at the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be fun if somebody was bringing me, but I'm not paying $3,000. I'm too old for that.
No, I'm just saying.
If I was in my
what
20s.
What would you do if you had tickets? You were going to sell them. What would you sell them for? What would you
I
do?
just someone give me $1,000. I'll give me $1,000. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm sorry. I will watch it at home.
For that amount of money, you could buy a TV, a lot of beer, pizza,
Listen,
the
it'd
whole
be fun.
shot.
It used to be a lot of... Look, I told you I'm controlled emotions in the game. In my younger days, I would have absolutely been at that game, whatever it took.
All
Whatever
right,
it took.
all right, everybody. Remember,
Hey, this is a serious handicap show.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you let us know who you like. First of all, you watch games and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. All the stuff we've been talking about. Give us your winners. Give
go.
us your winners, right?
This is
Because
it. We have been...
This is
Yeah,
it.
this is it. Let's
This
go.
is it. So
Ready?
what do you say all the time, my friend?
Listen, get us out of here. Pick some winners, guys.
All right, hey, go Lions, baby. Go Lions, hey, everybody.
No
Have a
more
great
pain.
Weekend.
No more sorrow.
Hey, watch that game on Monday too. We'll see ya.